let him start. The truth of the matter is, there are very few clubs these days that have 25 plus people attending a meeting. So, the collective learning of a group of 20 plus people and the collective energy, you can never understate that. So well done, emerging leaders. Good job to the entire executive committee and to the members. It's a nice intimate space. And today we will learn to be spot on. How many of you are scared of impromptu speaking? Scared of table? Now you are teaching. Now you are playing with me. Because all of you came onto the stage. That's fantastic. I mean, atrocities of artificial. Whoever came up with that? You must hate AI. I love AI. But that's where we stand, right? On the spot. That's what it tests you. So the very first acknowledgement that it makes you nervous and it makes those butterflies come about, that's where we all start. Yeah. Do you remember when you started learning cycling?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you remember that feeling? And how many of you drive now? Car, bike? How many of you remember that butterfly when you start your vehicle today? Only Bala, because you have a child now. That's what happens. When we learn, we have that nervous excitement. We have those butterflies. But today it becomes a chore. Just come on, no time actually. Let's get started, get the vehicle started. Oh, there's crazy traffic. Pause a minute, reflect on the journey you've had. And if you're able to do that on stage, right, every time you come onto the stage, that feeling, if you can remember why you started, where you started, you can crack anything. Now, if you forget everything else we speak of today, remember this one thing. Every time you come on stage, you have progressed. You started off somewhere, you were scared, you were worried. At work, when you have to talk to your colleague, when you have to go into your appraisal meeting, before Toastmasters, after Toastmasters. Nowadays my boss says, Ayyo, Raghavan, okay, I will set up a half an hour meeting only because I know you'll never stop. And then I feel that happiness, that hey, we have come somewhere. So today I will share with you some of the things that I've learned through my journey in Toastmasters that keeps those butterflies alive. That tells me that TT is not just something to be afraid of. I'm still afraid of the stage, but at least you learn to enjoy when you drive. Every time I take my bike out or my car out, I take a minute and then I just look around and say, hey, I'm driving. And it's fun. I get from one place to another. It's crazy traffic. I wish AI could drive on the roads instead of stupid co-drivers. But hey, until that happens, which is a boring future, until AI makes sandwich toasts, we should enjoy life that happens with us. So 3 things that I want to share with you. Okay, so any table topic speech, any impromptu speech is a story. No matter what you are asked, your assignment is to create a story. As memorable a story as is possible. Okay, first remember that every time you go onto the stage, any topic you get, whether it is something you relate with, whether it's something you don't relate with. Ashok's today was a classic example. Anybody who has handled an AI chatbot, you know you don't get atrocities back. In fact, it is mechanical. It is clearly evident. The question you ask gets answered. Nothing more, nothing less. Who had an atrocious experience with AI chatbot? Maybe you had a mind-bending experience, but not atrocious. Atrocious is something unexplainable, right? But that's the biggest challenge with AI. It's always explainable. It's within a boundary. So the topic itself, any lesser speaker would have been stumped. I was stumped. And see what Ashok did. He took you on a ride and he told you he's going to take you on a ride, and then he completed a proper story of where he started, why he started doing reels, brought in a humor with right hand, left hand, and then he finished up by saying, if you have to do something, don't write, just do it. I had to do nothing, and so I spent 60 minutes. So that's a story arc. So remember this in your mind. Okay, this is your ultimate objective. whether you're talking to your customers, whether you're talking to your bosses, whether you're giving a presentation at work, whether you're doing an impromptu speech in Toastmasters, every time you speak, you must speak a story. Okay? This is the first important segment of impromptu speech. Second, any good impromptu speech, what must it contain? I call it the CCC. Right? It's the C, C and C. First C. What should any speech contain C for? Content. Brilliant. Content is the undisputed king. Even Virat Kohli needs runs, otherwise his stumps go cartwheel. So content is the king. So remember the first C. How many of you think your life is unremarkable, your life is boring, I don't have many incidents in my life, Raghavan, a topic is asked, I don't have anything to bring about, what can I say? Anybody having that complex? Thank God. I was going to quote your example. I was going to actually say, I went to school, came back, both my parents are at home. I could do nothing naughty. I couldn't even watch my favorite cartoon without my mom knowing. And here you were playing with toaster. Just 1 second, I had no such experience in my life. I was good at So, what was I saying? Don't ever think your life doesn't have enough. But the challenge for you, if you struggle for content in life, imagine you get a topic like this, atrocious experience with chatbot, and you have never had an atrocious experience with chatbot. What do? Now Ashok has not experienced an atrocity with chatbot, most of us are not, so what do? Bring out something from your life. All you need to do is to live life as a Toastmaster. My wife hates me. Always do that as well, but my wife especially so. Because she said, "Day, for 2 minutes, we stop being a Toastmaster. Anything you see, you create a speech." The other day, when my wife put rice to crow, 1 spoon of rice fell down. When I was like, life is like that. Rice, man, it fell down. But, eventually it happened. We are crazy Toastmasters. Eventually what happens is, anything and everything that happens around you, the Toastmaster muscle memory kicks in and you start to grapple with something, you create a tune for it. All of us who have kids at home have played Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round. Chuma Bala Uta, he will write a Ramayana. Hello, all of us we paid 2,000 rupees for AI. Who does that? How much money you have, Bala? I will post tomorrow, I will sing for 1 hour. Give me 2,000 rupees. At office I sing praises and my boss gives me, I meet expectations maybe. 2,000 rupees side, what 1,000 only I paid. But your life is not unremarkable. So content is there with all of us. The challenge for you is when you come onto the stage or when you are put on the spot in the question, suddenly your brain goes for a walk. Your brain goes to see shots and then you are left. How do you make your brain pay attention and stay active? Practice. Okay. But once you come to the stage again and again and again, your brain doesn't desert you, it stays with you. So once you do that, your first C is ready, which is content. What do you think is the second C? Creativity. Yeah? That makes sense. You are now talking about first world problems. They are the challenges of an advanced speaker. But even before you go, clarity. Brilliant. Courage, good, but clarity. The biggest problem with all of us as speakers on stage, especially in impromptu, is if your brain is absent, that is one problem. The other problem is sometimes the brain is present. While you are talking about Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round, suddenly that Alu Ke Chalu Beta song comes in. Suddenly Twinkle Twinkle Little song comes in. Suddenly Baba Bless. And then your brain and your tongue, there is a processing gap. Too much of content comes in, you don't know what to speak. Sometimes you are in first point and then fifth point is suddenly the brain, hold on a minute, I'm confused. That's the second challenge. And in this challenge, your clarity suffers. You are in one point, suddenly you have jumped to the fifth point. In your mind, you are clear where suddenly Alu ke chalu beta came, but audience don't know. Why are you suddenly calling me an Alu? So you have to sort of restrain your imagination also and ensure you are in line with your topic all the time. You must not jump ship. And clarity is absolutely essential. Again, practice is your silver bullet, okay? But you must be conscious of the fact that, hey, what am I asked? What am I speaking? Are they in line? Keep checking this throughout. Do a checkpoint every 10 seconds. What am I saying versus what was I asked? Is there clarity? Sometimes you have to go somewhere else like Ashok did, but Ashok knew very clearly, he actually established the purpose. He said, hey, I'm going to go outside of the topic and then I'm going to come back. So you are all prepared that sometimes you will come back. And then he didn't let excitement take over. He always knew he had to come back and then he eventually came back. So ensure you are always connected in terms of the clarity. Okay? Now the third C, slightly complicated words, I will tell you myself. I call this third C as construct, or it is the premise. Now if you have to talk about a story and you are going to have a content and you have to have a clarity, then you need to construct it brick by brick, word by word, seconds by seconds. Now when you are speaking for 2 minutes goes just like that sometimes. Sometimes 2 minutes feel like 20 hours. Depends on the topic you get at the stage you are in. But what you must focus on is, okay, how am I going to construct? Where am I going to start? What am I going to speak next? Then where am I going? So this one, in the first 10 seconds when you take a breath, you should map this out. When you start from home to reach Ashok Pillar, in your mind your route is in 10 seconds, your route is clear, no? Unless you are following Google Maps. 10 seconds is all it takes. Who comes farthest? Who lives farthest from here? How do you live, ma'am? I will go to the terrace and slip and fall, you will fall in Manappa. You are what Ramapur, no? You fall and roll, you will go to Ramapur. Anybody from Chennai? Okay. Anybody else farther away than Manappa? That's why I said that Manappa is the land. Oh, others are in third floor. Others are here. Okay, Siri, we will take Manappa as an example. How do you commute, ma'am? By bike, right? When you start from your home, can you just go back a second and tell me if I am right or wrong? In 10 seconds, the route is clear to you, no? Yeah. Even lesser than that sometimes, because you know where you are going. That is the first thing you must do when you get up from the stage and you come here. You tell yourself, okay, I'm going to have a start, I'm going to have a middle, and then I'm going to close. I don't know what the topic is, but I'm going to be very structured in my speaking. Same thing in your boss, same thing with your wife. Spouse is a little difficult. Husband or wife, because that suddenly you will be thrown a googly, no? So it's difficult. Leave that. But at work, especially, I do. Anytime I go into a meeting, I know, okay, let me control the narrative and I go from there. So remember to have the right construct, because if you suddenly, in the middle of the speech, you remember a golden joke, a beautiful joke about BJP, or about Vijay, or about a recent Budapestan movie that came, your entire speech will go for a toss. That is what we call a cheap thrill, like your cheap samosa. While you are speaking, you realize, super opportunity now to throw in a joke. But if it's not part of your construct, if it's not part of your blueprint, you will fail. You will go for that cheap thrill, you think the audience will clap. The danger is the audience will remember that, but they will forget everything else. Okay? So don't fall for those cheap thrills. Okay? So the first point we spoke about was, every time you go to the story, it must be a story. Second is your presentation itself, which is CCC, which is content, clarity, concept. Right? Now these two are clear for you, which brings me to the final segment, which is what I call techniques of impromptu speaking in a Toastmaster context. All this is fine. I will deliver a story, I will have good content, good clarity, good connect. But what is a good way for me to present this out? We call these techniques. Okay, I will present to you today. There are many techniques. I will present to you 3 of my most successful techniques I have used. Okay. The first one is called PEAS. Patani, P-E-A-S. Any guesses what it is? It's an acronym, okay? Problem, explanation, analysis, solution. So you are given a topic, right? Is AI a boon or a bane? And you have decided to say it is a bane. Now, how do I create a story? How do I ensure I have clarity? How do I ensure that it's a construct? Construct it like P-E-A-S. What is the problem? What is the explanation for this problem? What is the analysis of the various solutions available? And what is one or two of the solutions I would recommend? Right? So you go ahead and express why you think AI is a bane. Go ahead, talk about it. And then you can give one example here stating, yeah, you will just check what happened with Bard and Gemini, check what has happened with DeepSeek. One guy spent $1 trillion of money of this world on creating something which could actually have been created in $6 million. Somebody tomorrow can make it with $60. We never know. So we go in chase of something fancy while it's actually just mirage. Problem. Explanation. Show us an explanation of how it has helped you or how it has not helped you. How you have faced the negative sides of AI or the positive sides, but you say it's not long enough, or you might say it's an impact in humanity, lives are gone, jobs are gone, whatever. And then you analyze the different solutions. What can be a solution for AI? AI is here to stay. I love AI. That's the only. But if you are going to say AI is a bane, God help you. Because what are you going to speak? You might be a Gen Z, but by just saying this, you are already a boomer. Because you have to live with AI. AI makes lives happy, makes lives easy. So analyze and show some analysis and finally pick up one or two solutions. Right? So if you are given a black or white topic, so which means you are picking one side or another, then PEAS is a great technique to follow. Because you clearly have made a decision. I'm going to speak on this side or that side. Go for it. Okay? If you are in the gray, we will take another example. But if you have a topic which clearly gives you two distinctions to pick from, go for PEAS. For everything else that is not specific black or white, let's say communication, leadership, titles, awards, victory, defeat, humility, health, fitness, whatever, right? New Year resolutions or your belief system, trust, religion, any of these gray aspects, what I like to do is PPP, called past, present, prediction. Because I don't have a stand on this. I used to love something in the past. So yeah, I used to love it, and humankind used to be loving it. We used to love these tractors or these bullock carts. And then nowadays we don't like them because there is a car. And then in future we might not like wheels and roads at all, we might all want to fly. For example, technology, right? Technology is helping us out, or technology is the biggest pull down of human beings, or the most popular, social media. Is social media good? Very popular discussion, right? Of course we have very strong views, but stating one or the other, our own mind will not accept it. If you are saying technology is useless, for example, leave AI. Let's talk about Instagram. Some of us have very strong beliefs, but we might not be happy enough or confident enough to say it in public. So we would rather say it depends on who uses it. Remember, if you want to cheat and not, go PPP. How it was in the past, that it was used, how is it in the present, it's shaping the future, there are good things about it, there are bad things also about it, what do I predict will be the future, right? Past, present, future, I call it PPP, past, present, prediction. I don't take a stand, but I just ensure all of it are put out, whatever is my mind's fretting, whatever I want to kumurify, I put it out there, so the audience can answer. And then finally, we have this technique that Ashok almost touched on today. I call this the Hail Mary technique. Because sometimes they give you a topic that is like, I'll give you an example. Now, the topic given to me in my first ever division contest. Don't pet over sweaty things. Don't sweat over petty things. Don't don't sweat, don't pet over sweaty things. I was gone. Sweat, yes, I'm sweating. Don't sweat over petty things. It's been 10 years, I still have nightmares about it. It's still traumatizing me. Because I stood on the stage, and Table Topics, I hope you got the topic. Thank you. No, I didn't get the topic. Why are you thanking me? So I just stood there, first ever division contest on stage, blazer, and a new blazer, and all. Blazer and 5,000 rupees blazer, and what do you do? Sometimes it happens, some topics come up. See, it might be the easiest of topic. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. And your brain has gone for a vacation. Somewhere it doesn't know. So what do? I call this the TC or Hail Mary. What does TC mean? It's usually done in schools or colleges. The previous day they told me, Raghavan, tomorrow you are going to write an essay about the tree. So I read all about the tree. Next day I go, my teacher, teachers, good people, write an essay about the cow. So what do kids like me do? We write everything we have studied about the tree. And then finally we borrow from a show. The cow is tied to this tree. All we borrow. I've spoken about the tree, I've spoken about the cow. So sweaty, petty, tricky, sweaty, petty thing. What do? I just spoke about how nervous I was on stage, how I was in the AC room, I was sweating. And then I said, I think this is a sweaty thing. Stopping, right? See, because what is your alternate option in that time? You stand, you get embarrassed, you go off. Oh, you are putting me in trouble, I put the audience in trouble. Gali, enjoy. I will speak whatever is on my It's a Hail Mary, okay? It will only save you from not speaking on stage. It won't even save you from embarrassment. Because it depends on what you speak, okay? But I didn't want to stand on stage Chuma like that and come out. So I pulled out that Hail Mary card. Since then I've done that a lot. So it's called the TC, or the tree or the cow, or the Hail Mary, where you are talking unconnected, but then you finally connect it. With me till now? So there are three parts we saw. Let's go from the back this time. We spoke about techniques to ensure you do your impromptu clearly. It's a formula for a on the spot. So there are three different things that I introduced to you. If you have a black or white, very clearly defined spaces you want to take, what is the technique you can follow? Peace. P-E-A-S. Then if you are in the gray, anything and everything that's in the middle, where you don't have a very strong stand, even your conflict, you want to discuss, what do you do? PPP. Past, present, prediction. And then finally, when both of these are gone, there is no right, left, right, everything is circle, go for Hail Mary. Very risky. I wouldn't advocate it, but it can save you the blushes. Right? It's called TC, tree and the cow. Okay? There are hundreds of techniques. I have only given you. Okay? Then we spoke a little bit about how do you deliver, how do you present it effectively. It's the CCC. What are the CCC?
Content,
clarity. Brilliant. Content, clarity and construct. Remember to do. How do I do all of this in 2 minutes, Raghavan? It's the exact same answer you will give me when I ask, do you remember when you started driving a car or a bike? Especially the ones with the gear. What did you do? Brake, clutch, accelerator, first gear, then, oh, I forgot to switch on the car itself. But now, where are you? Right? You start off there thinking, how can I process all of this? And then in 5 seconds, when you come on and hear the topic and thinking master goes, your mind will be primed and ready. Trust in the process and practice. Okay? And then at the beginning, what I told you, remember that again. Every time you come to the stage, you must give a. You do all that, you can deliver a 2-minute speech. Thank you so much, Imagine, for giving me the opportunity. I really appreciate it.